Thanks for tuning in on my channel. It's been a while since I've brought everybody up to date with what my perspective on everything is. But I'm here to tell you that I do know President Trump is going to be reelected, because I have the understanding that who is trying to stop him are the global elite who are determined to have a new world order. And they have been working ceaselessly for decades to bring about the conquest of the United States, because it's so simple. When you listen to a speech by banker Paul Warburg like 25 years ago, global government's coming. It's going to come whether you like it or not. You're going to have a global government, and it will happen one way or the other, either by consent or by conquest, but it's going to happen. Now these global elite are so consumed with the power they get from making the endless amounts of money through the Federal Reserve System. They're controlling everything, controlling the mainstream media, control Wall Street, control even the price of gold and silver. But guess what? They don't control Trump. They can't stand him, because this country's been like a big obstacle in the path of creating a new world order, because you can't have a global government until you get every single nation on planet Earth has to acknowledge that a higher power is in place, that it has the authority to rule over all the nations on the earth. And so when it comes to these United States, it's been very obvious. These Americans are the fiercest, most independent-minded free people, and they are heavily armed, and they believe in their Second Amendment rights. And so they'll never achieve their goal of a one world government without the conquest of the United States. Because if it's going to happen one way or another, either by consent or by conquest, they understand there's only one option with the United States. It will have to be the conquest of this country. Now, the reason why President Trump is absolutely going to be reelected is because these global elite have been behind controlling Democrats, mainstream media, everything. And they attempted the Russian collusion to take out Trump. They attempted an impeachment to take him out. They're attempting the virus. But I watched a Senate hearing, Rand Paul, Kentucky, interviewing the sleazebag Dr. Fauci, and all their projections have been wrong. We're being lied to about the virus. So I don't know, but if you see on the wall behind me is a poster that says, "You must wear a mask, it's the law." You know what? It infuriates me so badly to know that we're being lied to about it, that I ripped that poster down off the door going into a casino. I said, I'm going to stop these lies. Somebody's got to stand up. They tell you you got to wear a mask. I'm at a General Tire store the other day, and they said, young man walks up, very nice, polite, respectful. He says, "Sir, can I ask you to wear a mask?" And I responded politely. I said, "You certainly can. You can ask." But I said, "But does anybody ever tell you, no, I'm not going to wear a mask?" And he just kind of has a blank look on his face. And this is what we need to do. We need to stand up against these lies and the deception and the destruction of our country and our economy, recognizing what it is and who it is behind us. I've been hearing stories, I don't know how to verify them, but I heard a story of like a group of men went in together. They were friends. They got in line. They were doing a big COVID-19 testing. They signed in, put their names, addresses down, and got in line. And they waited, and the line was moving slow. And after a couple of hours, they decided to just bail. They said, "You know what? Forget this. We ain't got the time to spend to get this testing done." So they left. They never got tested. A week later, they got test results in the mail declaring that they were tested positive. Proof. The lies are being made. Tucker Carlson proved it also the other day. on the news, Fox News, well, actually probably a month ago, he said they investigated the number of deaths in the month of March last year, 2019, to compare it to the death in the month of March 2020. And it was like over 3 times as many people died of the common flu last March compared to this March while COVID-19 was happening. It's evidence that the COVID-19 death is being applied to anybody and everybody that dies. There's other stories. Another man tells me his friend's wife was having chemotherapy, diagnosed with cancer. They did everything they could to try to save her. She was under this treatment for some time, but she did finally, the cancer got her, and she passed away. But the hospital put COVID-19 death as the reason of death on the death certificate, wanted her husband to sign it. And he's having a big fit with the hospital saying, I'm not signing, that's not what she died from. And they said, just sign it. The hospital gets $13,000 or some amount for every COVID-19 death declared. We're being lied to so bad, and our country's under attack. But this is what's going to happen. Rand Paul, on the Senate hearing interviewing Dr. Fauci, he made the statement that 70% of the American people do not believe that the numbers, the COVID-19, they're believing or starting to suspect is not true. We're being lied to. 70%, that's a lot. So this is what's going to happen. Trump is going to win. How do I know? Because these global elite who failed with the Russian collusion, failed with the impeachment, failed with the virus is going to fail, our country's going to survive it, they're going to have to go nuclear because there's nothing else is going to stop this country. We can't be stopped. And the prophecies in the Bible talk about a day of great disaster comes suddenly on unsuspecting people. Skies are full of smoke. Cities are burning. A large and mighty army comes. This is why I know Trump will be reelected, because he's going to continue making America great, moving forward, because these global elite have been working to destroy our country. Like with the free trade agreement that destroyed our industrial base, because the statement about World War II said the number one reason that we prevailed over enemies in World War II is we had this powerful industrial base firmly established. We got attacked at Pearl Harbor, and instantly began to mass produce all kinds of the necessary military equipment, cannons, tanks, jeeps, personnel carriers, and well, that's how this country prevailed over enemies. So there's been a huge movement to take this country down, to weaken us. Been our way a long time, but everybody needs to understand we got to prepare for war. This is war. Our country's being attacked. The fires, the smoky skies in the West Coast. You couldn't be more effective at coming into a country with armed, marauding bands, burning, pillaging cities and towns, burning up the countryside, raping, pillaging, plundering. No, we are watching what the Bible calls the end time. Birth pains are upon us. At the same time, they said the hurricane that just came in was the worst hurricane in 150 years. It was an unsurvivable hurricane. This is unbelievably unusual times of prophetic fulfillment. What you need to understand is there's something real simple you can do. Number one, get out of the cities. Relocate to rural areas where food is produced, and stockpile food, supplies, fuel, anything you can, because in time of war, supplies are difficult to get. Read Isaiah 33, it's totally prophetic. And tune into my other channels, because I have so much understanding about what's happening. And we are the resistance. I read it in Daniel. Book of Daniel. It says the people who know their God will firmly resist. So you can't resist without supplies. A simple statement I heard from a military expert. In all the histories of wars that have ever come and gone, it says every single time two opposing forces are engaged in a conflict, the side that always loses are the ones whose supplies are cut off. You need to stockpile your supplies. Spend your money. The money's becoming inflated. Silver and gold are not going up in value. The dollar's losing value, taking more dollars to buy the same ounce of silver or the same ounce of gold, because the purchasing power of the dollar is being diluted. Where do you think $2 trillion of virus stimulation money comes from? They're making it out of nothing. We're Wake up, people. I have a website called www.biblically.com, and I invite you to go there, check it out. If you agree, share this information with your friends. Click like and subscribe. I have other videos. Some of it, what I'm telling you, is being repeated. Same thing. Truth doesn't change. It just keeps moving forward. And over time, more and more people begin to clearly recognize this is the truth. We're headed for global conflict. It has been underway for a long time. And until our enemies are completely destroyed, we're headed for a new age of 1,000 years of peace on earth. Isaiah 2 says, never again will men train for war. Nations won't rise up against nations anymore. Swords are beat into plowshares, spears into pruning hooks. That's food production. So there is a bright hope for our future. And we're a chosen generation with a destiny to usher in the new age. So stock up, prepare for war, get all the supplies you can, get your money out of stocks and banks and institutions, and convert your money into tangible, useful commodities. Solar panels, inverters, batteries, generators, fuel. There's a grid down coming. It's in my other videos. Click like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.